They must have a title, the candidate's full name, contact number, school, principal's name and contact. Essays should be sent to the Channels Book Club at channelstv.com. For further information, visit www.channelstv.com or call Kunle on 080-333-20974 or Orelua on 0813-845-7084. Entry closes August the 31st, 2013. The Channels Book Club Prize for Literature, supported by Lufthansa German Airline, the Turner Books and Goethe Institute.
We are the future. We are the dream.
I think this is a very inspiring initiative. I've known about the Future Awards for many years now, and I think it's a fantastic way of just showcasing what our young Nigerians are doing and how they're actually helping to develop the country. I think it's inspiring, even for those of us that have crossed the youth age number. I think you inspire not only the older Nigerians, but you are an inspiration to other young Nigerians coming behind you. And I would encourage every single one of us here to go to the Future Awards Africa website, www.thefutureafrica.com/awards, and really read about the very inspiring stories of these young Nigerians who've done so much to make their country proud and who've done so much to ensure that we continue to have confidence in our youth.
The Future Awards. Inspiration begins here.
It's 2 p.m. in Lagos, Nigeria, and you're welcome to Newstrack on Channels Television. I'm Neo Taibri.
And I'm Melinda Kinlami, and these are the stories and reports we're tracking at this hour. University students in Nigeria and their parents may soon heave a sigh of relief going by the efforts of the government at resolving the strike action embarked on by the university lecturers.
This is coming from the Minister of Information, Mr. Labaran Maku, who says that ongoing negotiations between the Academic Staff Union and the Minister of Labour and Productivity will soon be concluded.
The government is very, very worried. Every time that the school calendar is disrupted, it has its costs on the nation, and particularly the idle time our children spend can lead to a lot of social difficulties. So government is truly very, very concerned. We don't want school calendars to be disrupted. And like I said, a lot of discussion, serious negotiations have been going on between the federal government and ASU. And we believe that we should, record some progress soon enough for these schools to open, and the Minister of Labour and the Minister of Education will be giving further briefs on the progress of these negotiations. And I know that it has never ceased since the strike started. So appealing to our people, particularly parents and children of this nation, to bear with us and show more understanding. And we pray that this type of strike will not recur, because, like I said, the public school system suffers a lot of damage with perennial strikes.
Minister of Information, Mr. Labaran Maku. But as comforting as his words may be, the chairman of the union's chapter at the Federal University of Technology in Minna, Niger State, Comrade Abdul Fatai Jimo, told Channels Television that the refusal of the federal government to implement the agreement it reached with the university teachers in February 2012 is quite regrettable. Comrade Jima insists that the industrial action is due to the poor standard of education in the country and not for the welfare of the lecturers.
That the present ASUU struggle is not about salary increase. Rather, it is about revitalization of Nigeria universities. As you may be aware, it is no longer a rumor. Neither is it a way of blackmailing anybody. I want to use this opportunity to let us know that those agreements were not satisfactorily implemented by government. And that is why the problem still persists.
Still on the ASUU strike, the lecturers' unions in the Southwest Zone have also distanced themselves from the rumor making the round that the strike will soon be suspended. You get all the details in this next report.
As the Solidarity song indicates, the academic body remains strongly bonded and committed to their demands.
Our members are prepared to further this struggle because we are convinced that our demands are just and the country has more than enough resources to implement the 2009 agreement.
They are not ready to shift grounds until the 2009 agreement reached with the federal government, which include the revitalization of the Nigerian universities, increase in the budgetary allocation for education to 26%, and the transfer of the federal government's landed property to universities, among other demands, are implemented.
It will interest you to know that the decision on the amount of funds needed to address both funding and payment of end allowances was arrived at after meticulous data gathering across universities nationwide. The funds represent the minimum needed to begin to turn around our universities. Any attempt to review this downward implies half measure which will not achieve the desired turnaround for our institutions.
Give me the camera. Meanwhile, before the press briefing commenced, a mild drama ensued between journalists and the security officials of the Lagos State University, LASU. They had insisted we held on the coverage of the press briefing. A trial to seize Channel's camera was met with resistance. Students may have to remain out of the academic environment for as long as the feud persists. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
The federal government is a step closer to actualizing the full privatization of the power sector with the conclusion of the financial bid for the Kaduna Distribution Company and Afam Power Plant. Director General of the Bureau for Public Enterprise, Mr. Benjamin Dickey, says new owners will be ready to take over by September this year. Our correspondent, Doris Okenwa, reports.
Its members are Zaki Transnational Limited.
This is the opening of the financial bid for the last electricity distribution company. 6 companies have now placed a bid for the Kaduna Distribution Company, while 2 for the Afam Power Plant. The federal government is in the process of breaking up the defunct Power Holding Company of Nigeria, PHCN, into 17 private generation and distribution companies and selling them as part of efforts to increase electricity output 10 times over the next 7 years.
Confirm that this is what is submitted.
And after the presentation of ground rules, confirmation of submitted bids and eventual opening of the bids, Northwest Power Limited ranked highest for the Kaduna Distribution Company, while Televeros Group at $260 million ranked highest for the Afam Power Plant. The result of the preferred bidders is expected in a few days.
The next thing is that for the distribution companies, they go and carry out some tests which are technical, just to be sure that their bid is consistent. And if it is, we make our submissions to the National Council on Privatization. That council is headed by the Vice President of the nation.
The Other distribution companies, we expect them to pay by September 21st, the final 75%.